Good morning, everybody, from our last day here on board the Margaritaville at Sea Islander. And today is the day at sea as we transit the 600 or so miles, or continue transiting from Cozumel to Tampa Bay, where we'll be in the morning to disembark. You can see it is a rainy day out there. Very humid too. I'm not going to take the camera out there because we will fog up immediately, but you can see a good rain shower right over there. So like I said, it is our last day, and today is the day for me to do all the things I haven't gotten to do yet, or that I want to do and haven't done yet. There's only one or two things that I need to cross off my list, and you're going to see those in this video. But we're going to start today off with the only way that you can start, the only right way to start a sea day off on Margaritaville at Sea, y'all. They have the Sparkling Wine Brunch. I went there on the first sea day that we had. Absolutely loved it. It's like the best place, the best thing you can eat on this ship, and it's been so good. I've been daydreaming about it ever since. So yesterday all day I was like, I just want to go to brunch. I wish it was tomorrow so I could go to brunch. And now it's 10:30 in the morning. They close at 11:30, and I'm about to head down there and go to brunch because I've been craving it, y'all. But it is the last day. It's been a tremendous cruise so far. So literally, like, something terrible would have to happen now for me to say it's a bad cruise, because it's been a great cruise. The Islander is a beautiful ship. Margaritaville at Sea has done a tremendous job of renovating the ship. All the refurbishments they've done to make it their own. All the crew is just so proud of this ship, and I have been so happy to sail and to be here. So happy to wrap up this vlog. So in this vlog, we will see the sea day today, just me meandering about the ship and whatever I get into. I do want to try Far Side of the World later today for the sushi, so you'll see me eating brunch, and so you see me eating a lot today in this video, I'll tell you that. And then we'll just see what the day gets, you know, what we get into today. And then we'll also, in this very same vlog, see our sail into Tampa in the morning as we prepare to disembark, sadly, the Margaritaville Sea Islander. But no time to be down this morning because we're off to brunch. So let's go there now and try some delicious food, shall we? Just opening the door to go to brunch, and notice that they have left the disembarkation information in my mailbox. So we'll actually talk about this a little bit later in the vlog. I'll tell you about the disembarkation process, but just wanted to show they did leave my luggage tags, which I don't need because I carried my luggage on, and a letter in here on the last sea day telling me everything that I need to know about the sad day that is disembarkation day. And one thing I'll say about the ship, they did heavily refurbish it to have the Margaritaville at Sea decor. As you can see, that art up there says where it's always 5 o'clock. But some of the decor, some of the artwork is some of the original, because this was a Costa cruise ship before. So some of the stuff is original to that ship. So you can see the paneling and stuff. Of course, the carpet is all original to the old ship. Elevators, I'll say this cruise, have been very fast. There are only, I think, 10 floors total on this whole ship. So the elevators have been very quick, very speedy. So I haven't had to have a lot of wait on those. I did hear that there's about 1,700 passengers on this cruise. The ship holds about 2,600, so not a completely full sailing. And here we go. Told you it was quick. We're on deck 8. We're going to go down to deck 3. So we're going to go from the forward of the ship to the aft of the ship, where the main dining room is, the Islander dining room. So we'll hit 3. You can see all the names of all the different decks here. Lucky Star, 5 o'clock somewhere, Limes and Salt, Painted Sky, Last Mango, Changes in Attitude, Coastal Confessions, Living It Up, Flip Flop Deck, and Coral Reef Deck. And check out that view we have for brunch. One of the best views. I always say it every time I look at it. I'm like, this is one of the best views on the ship. And also, funny enough, it's already stopped raining, so it's not going to be a rainy sea day. See, it's going to be sunny and nice. We've manifested it here on the channel. This is the menu, though. I showed it the other day, so I'm not going to go too in-depth about it. You can go back and watch my first sea day vlog from Margaritaville at Sea Islander to see that. But I think, again, I might, you know, I want to get something different to showcase it to you guys, but I'm telling you, that hollow pudding that I had, it's so delicious. And I've just been, like, thinking about it and, like, dreaming about it ever since I had it that first time. So I may have to just get that again. I think I'm going to try the hot fried chicken, too. Waffles, syrup, and country gravy. It's gonna be way too much food. No way I'm gonna eat all this, but I think I want to try. I definitely want to try the chicken because I got the French toast last time, but I also want the French toast again. So just to show you the Islander dining room in here, it's very nice. I did ask when they were seating me like what the peak time is, and she actually said 10:30. So I'm actually in here for peak time in terms of the amount of people coming to the restaurant. Also wanted to say about this, this is called the Sparkling Wine Brunch. It is $15 per person, and it includes like unlimited mimosas, bellinis, Bloody Marys, juices, things like that. So, I mean, if you came in here and had a couple of those, it would totally be worth the cost. Like, you would make up the cost in that. We got the Halo pudding. I did have this the first day. It's delicious. It's topped with some strawberry ice cream. There's some raspberries down in there. There's also like little Jello cubes. All right, y'all ready for the next course? This is the hot fried chicken, and there are 3 pieces of fried chicken here. Let's see that, and then one little waffle triangle there. And there's 2 sauces here. This is a spicier sauce. I tasted that, and of course this is syrup. So I guess not 2 sauces. There's syrup and then a sauce. Okay, so this is pretty good. I don't think it's anything I would order again. This waffle here is kind of like the waffles you can get on the buffet, so it would be nice if this was a little bit more premium. Oh, you see how hot the food is. It's steaming up the lens there. I wish it was a little bit more premium tasting, since it is for a specialty restaurant brunch. The chicken's really good. The chicken's really warm. It's a lot of breading on the chicken. And then I did find out that the syrup is kind of a spicy syrup too. So this is a spicier dish. Not extremely spicy, I think. If you can tolerate a little bit of spice, you can do this. So yeah, if you like chicken and waffles, I think it's worth trying. But I definitely still think that French toast is the best thing that you can get in here. And I went ahead and got my French toast. This is the overnight French toast, and I think this is probably the best thing you can eat on the entire Islander cruise ship. Just hanging out now here in the A1A, which is the sort of like a little promenade. It is sort of secret. It's here on the very front of deck 3. If you come all the way forward and then turn right before you go into the Stars on the Water Theater, you'll find this. But wanted to say another fantastic time at brunch. Sadly, our last brunch of this cruise, as they do not offer it on disembarkation day. It's just too much. You know, so much going on that morning, so they don't offer it, which is kind of sad to hear. I was hoping I would get one more meal in there. But probably good for my stomach that I don't go in there anymore, because I eat too much. But definitely my favorite dining experience of this cruise, so far at least. Now I've been invited to something else kind of secret. And I don't really know what this is. I was just told to meet at a certain location at 12:45. It's currently 12:15. I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen. But they told me to bring my camera, so I do get to vlog it. So we'll see what we're going to see today. Something secret, something special. And on our way to that secret surprise, I did want to say, here in the Stars on the Water Theater, they're having bingo. So just want to let you know that they do offer bingo several times throughout the cruise. So if you like to play bingo, and then this is the place to do that. Right here in the main theater. All right, we are here and en route to our surprise. Still not sure where we're going. Just know that we're going somewhere. We've actually come back to deck 8, which is, well, that's where my stateroom is. So I kind of think I know now where we're going. See, here's my room right here. So here we go into the bridge. We gotta be quiet, so I'll try to. So we're currently moving up the west coast of Florida toward Tampa, moving at about 13.4 knots toward the north. You can see here right off the front of the ship. We're over here off of the bridge wings. You can look back down the side of the ship over here, back toward my stateroom. It's like I said, we're just a few rooms up from where I'm staying here on deck 8. Here are all the controls for maneuvering, you know, with the thrusters and everything when they want to move up alongside the pier. Whenever they're docking, they'll be over here using these controls. Of course, they have the hole down there they can see through. You can see all the way down to the water, so they can see how close they're getting to the dock. Any forward propulsion is done using the main control over here in the center. And right now you notice that no one's standing there actively moving the ship, guiding the ship. So it's, I guess you could say, on autopilot or auto navigation.
That's a crew area.
And here's the display showing how fast we're going. I said 13.4, we're going 12.4 nautical miles at a heading of 28.1 degrees. We have a drift angle of less than a degree. And we got winds coming from the northeast. So we got kind of a crosswind coming across the bow of the ship at 19 knots, 19.2 knots now. And this is cool because it's showing all the power and stuff and the propulsion of the ship. And then here you can see this, this map here is sort of showing our navigation and chart location. And we have the Carnival Paradise just off back off to our east a little bit, closer to the coast of Florida, and they were just saying that they were actually having a medical evacuation whenever we were passing them just a bit ago, and they actually had to get someone medevaced off. So Carnival Paradise just left Tampa yesterday. They're headed, oh, actually you can see the Paradise right there. Let's see if we can get them in the shot. Right about the center of the screen. It's probably too far away for you to notice, but it doesn't look like they're moving very quickly at all. But that's because they have had a medical emergency and they're having to wait on a medevac to get that crew member, passenger, whoever it is, off the ship. But you can see the Carnival Paradise just right over there to our east, a little bit closer to the mainland of Florida. And then you also got a pretty good rainstorm going on there. You can see the rain shaft right there. So very cool. I love this stuff. I love navigation and weather and all the components of what it takes to actually drive a cruise ship. In my opinion, one of the coolest parts of cruising is trying to figure out all the navigation and stuff. And you hear the announcements on the cruise ship. This is actually where they're made, right here. You can see they have a folder of drill announcements. So this is cool. That this is actually where all the announcements get made, all around the different areas of the ship and all the different buttons to make an announcement. So this is pretty cool, this paper here in the bridge showing all the different details about the Margaritaville at Sea Islander. It was delivered in May of 2000. It was built in Helsinki, Finland. It is registered in Nassau, Bahamas. So yeah, that's cool. A lot of different stuff about it. And while we live in a very digital world where, you know, you just kind of assume that everything's on computers and everything's digital, you do see that there is a lot of paper up here. And they were talking about they still do use quite a bit of paper in their charting and navigation and everything. You see here there are actually some printers here printing things out on paper. And it looks like right here is the stabilizers. So in case you didn't know, cruise ships do have stabilizers that keep you from rocking too much side to side, so they can extend these stabilizers out so that they control the rock of the ship, so that the ship doesn't rock too much. So they do have the stabilizers out. So just back to the room now, and my room attendant has left the TV on a channel where they are showing disembarkation information. So I'm actually going to mute this real quick so that you can hear the other stuff I have to say. They've also left some information in my room regarding disembarkation. Of course, that all happens tomorrow. But it looks like our arrival is scheduled for 6:45 a.m. Debarkation begins at 7 a.m. And I'm going to try to get off as early as possible because I do have early plans for travel tomorrow. The last stateroom checkout, they want everyone to be out of their staterooms by 8 p.m. and then last off the ship 9 o'clock. So they want to do things quickly and really get you off here by 9 o'clock because they do try to start loading the new guests back onto the ship, or the new guests onto the ship rather, by 10:30. So this is just letting folks know that in the morning, Finn's dining room, deck 2 aft, coffee and pastries at 6:45. Begin debarkation after 7. And yeah, this is just about carrying your luggage and everything. So good information to have. It does show that they will be having continental breakfast at the Port of Indecision buffet from 6 to 6:30. They will have the coffee shop open from 6 to 9. The buffet is also open for just regular buffet food, you know, like you would normally expect on any day of your cruise from 6:30 to 8:30. And then the Mexican Cutie Cantina is available for breakfast from 7 to 8:30. So a lot of places to enjoy disembarkation morning here on the ship. And that's it for the debarkation, disembarkation. What word do you guys use? I like interchange those. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter, but I always am interchanging disembarkation and debarkation. Let me know in the comments, which one do you use? So I've never seen so many dolphins in my whole entire life. They are just following the wake of the ship. They're loving the wake. I mean, you can see back there for a long way. You might not be able to see it. They are jumping everywhere in our wake. I mean, there have to be hundreds of dolphins. This is insane. I can see them jumping for, it seems like, a couple miles just in the wake. That is crazy. Well, hello and good evening. It's now been several hours Since we saw the dolphins and the last time I talked to you, I have been extremely lazy this afternoon. Did a little bit of social media work that I needed to do with my social media. If you're not following me on social media, I would love to have you over on Instagram, Zach the Traveling Man. I also have a Facebook group, Zach the Traveling Man. So make sure you go join both of those. But tonight is all about dining. And you're like, well, was it today about dining? We saw you eat at brunch, and you're totally correct about that. But tonight I want to do something I've been wanting to do all cruise, because there's so many eateries on Margaritaville at Sea. So many eateries, and I have only scratched the surface. So tonight I wanted to do a little bit of progressive dining, we'll call it, where I'm going to go to a couple or maybe even a few different dining locations around the ship. Now, most of these, if not all these, are additional charge, and I'll tell you about that when we're there. I'll tell you all about the cost. But there is a sushi restaurant on board, or a sushi spot on board. I want to get some sushi. In the back of the ship, there's the Island Eats and Tiki Hut in the adults area section. They have crab legs, they have lobster rolls, they have hot wings, things like that. So I kind of want to get some food there. And then they have really good like specialty desserts at the sandwich shop. I did get one yesterday, but I want to try something different. So I think we're going to go to all those and make a meal out of it tonight. May even swing by the buffet in the dining room and see what they've got for dinner, just to let you know about that. But come along with me as we get dinner around the ship tonight. So I'll show you all of the eateries that are available on the ship, so you'll have a good idea if you're coming, or maybe it'll spark the interest to come on Margaritaville at Sea when you see all the delicious food offerings that they have around the ship. So come on, let's go get something to eat. All right, so the first location for dinner is sushi here at Far Side of the World. However, they are having something right now. We're gonna come back. They're having something inside of Far Side of the World where the sushi is, so I can't even get a seat in there right now. So we'll come back to there later. Just walking through the casino now. We'll go to the back of the ship first to Island Eats and start our progressive dinner back there in the back of the ship. So here we are all the way aft on deck 9. This is the adults only area, but this is where they have Island Eats and the Tiki Grill. They have a lot of different stuff here. All this is additional cost. Let me come over here and show you the menu of what they're having. They have a lobster roll, they have a shrimp roll, they have a crab sandwich, they have a blackened dorado, they have some ceviche, ceviche del mar, ceviche de Cameroon, conch salad. They also have crab legs. I've seen a lot of people get these. Peel and eat shrimp, bucket of mussels. All of these are additional costs. They also have the Tiki Grill options. The Taste of Peru. They have some wings. They have some conch fritters, some buffalo shrimp, some fried clams. So I think I'll place an order here for a couple things, and we'll try out the food here. So I just put in my order. They said it's going to be like 10 to 12 minutes before it's ready. So I'm going to come back at around 8:30. So while we're waiting on the food, just a couple more minutes. Look at this. This is pretty tranquil back here. As I always say, the best view on the ship is when you can get one of these high up views of the wake back behind the ship, but especially on a night like tonight when the ocean is so calm. You know, the sun has set. It's just beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, so here's the lobster roll. This was 18 bucks, and you actually get, it's divided into two. So this would be perfect for sharing, you and someone else, because these are the perfect sharing portions right here. But a huge portion of lobster, you know, the stuffing inside of there, it looks really good. And then it said it was coming with baked chips, and the baked chips are actually tortilla chips, which I thought a little strange. I thought it was gonna be like baked potato chips, but nonetheless, this is a lobster roll. This was 18 bucks plus service charge. And then I got 1 pound of the crab legs, which are right here. And this is served with Old Bay seasoning right here that you can put on the crab legs, and then drawn butter with a lemon, half a lemon. So these look good, and while I was in line, there was a couple of people telling me how great these were. They're like, have you had them before? I'm like, no, and they're like, well, you're really gonna enjoy them. So yeah, both of these from the Island Eats in the back at the Tiki Hut section, and both of these together, of course, $18, and also $18 for the crab. So $36 plus 18% gratuity. It came out to almost 43 bucks for both of these with gratuities. Okay, one half of this down, and this is delicious. Like, the bread is so good. It's toasted here, so you can see it's got like a buttery, like toasted edge, which is really good. And then the filling is good. The filling does taste a little pre-made, but it's still really good filling. really generous portion of this lobster too. It's a really, really decent lobster roll. I mean, I love a lobster roll. I've had lobster rolls all over. I've had them in Boston and all up and down the East Coast. So I feel like I know a good lobster roll, and this is a pretty good lobster roll. I'm disappointed with the chips though. Again, I was expecting more of like a potato chip. I think it is kind of odd to have tortilla chips with a lobster roll. Maybe I'm wrong, but never had that before. And these do taste kind of stale. So not really what you would expect with a premium upcharged, you know, dinner, a plate of food. I feel like the chips should be a little bit more premium than that. So here's the situation. I like the lobster roll. I think that was good. I ate like 1.5 of those. I ate some of the crab legs, but they put so much Old Bay on them. To me, they're inedible. Like, it's just too much Old Bay. And I know a lot of people like Old Bay, and that's great, but the amount that they put on these, it's just too salty, you know? So I couldn't really enjoy them as much as I hoped that I would. They're also mostly warm, but still cold in a lot of places. So of course, I mean, you know, they have to keep them in a pod all day. But unfortunately, they didn't stay as warm all the way throughout, and just too salty for me. So I think that crab legs are going to be a miss for me. But if you like crab legs and if you like Old Bay, you're going to love them because they like doused them. But if you want the crab legs, now you know something that I didn't, that they're going to put so much Old Bay on them. So if you want the crab legs and you don't like Old Bay, tell them I want the crab legs without the Old Bay seasoning, because they put a lot, and they even serve it on the side as you saw. But the lobster roll I can highly recommend. Just don't get your hopes up on the chip situation, because it's going to be tortilla chips for some reason. So I'm not completely mad at it, but yeah, I don't know that I would you know, go back there again. And the desserts are gone. Sad day. No desserts for us. I should have came a little bit earlier, I guess. Oh well, I guess we didn't really need dessert after all, but just know probably around 9 o'clock is when the coffee shop is going to close, and they're going to take up all those delicious desserts. So sadly, I think we should have started with the sushi, because it's not going to happen. I am just too full. It's too late. There are people shouting and screaming right over here. Yeah, it's not going to happen tonight. I'll have to try it next time though. It's a good reason to come back, to be able to try the Far Side sushi the next time I come back. Well, good morning. We've now reached disembarkation morning, the very last morning of the cruise. It's currently just before 7 a.m. I've been up for a while. As you can see, got the time lapse rolling out there. It's beautiful right now. The sun is just coming up over Tampa Bay. I'm going to be departing the ship soon. I did go up for breakfast. I wanted to go up and get one of those pastries, you know, at the dessert place I was talking about last night with the specialty desserts. They've had, that case has been full of pastries the entire cruise. So I was like, I'll go up there and get my coffee at the coffee shop, and I'll get one of the pastries. Well, to my surprise, I go up there and there's no pastries. And I'm like, you don't have pastries ready this morning? And they're like, no, we're not going to have pastries like until the next cruise, you know, until they get on at like 10 or 11. I'm like, you're not going to sell any pastries at all? So I just wanted to remark, there's not a lot of places to get breakfast on Margaritaville at Sea Island or on disembarkation morning. The buffet is open. It opens at 6:30 in the morning. They do have a couple of continental offerings before that, but there's no main dining room service. No main dining room is open for breakfast or anything like that, which is a bit disappointing. You know, everybody's crowding into the buffet for whatever limited selections they have there. And even places like, you know, the coffee shop doesn't have their specialty pastries and stuff. So I feel like that could be improved for sure, because, you know, there need to still be options on disembarkation morning. I know it's a hassle. I know people are busy, but folks still need options for breakfast before they start their travels. So it would be nice if they had a main dining room option, one more last sit-down breakfast, perhaps, before everyone's getting off the ship. But yeah, our cruise has come to an end, and overall, it's been a great cruise here on Margaritaville at Sea Islander. If you've watched all my videos, I hope that you've seen that displayed in the content that I've produced. I'm going to say a big thank you to all of the crew that works here on Margaritaville at Sea Islander. They are tremendous. Some of the most proud and some of the best crew that I've ever witnessed on a cruise ship before. This is the rollout crew with this ship. This ship has only been up for a couple months now, but this crew has been with the ship for a while. Many of them being with the ship when she was undergoing all her refurbishments to become the Islander. So there's a great sense of pride with the crew here. You can tell that they love this ship, and because of that, they love what they do here on the Islander. So that was tremendous. It's been a great experience. I want to say a huge thank you to my friends at Margaritaville at Sea for inviting me out, for having me out on this new ship, getting to experience everything about it. I think if you are looking for a great cruise, if you're looking for a short cruise, if you're looking for a weekend getaway, certainly if you're looking for an affordable cruise, because this is certainly one of the most affordable cruises I think that you can go on, and you're not going to have to suffer for lack of quality. Because you're paying less money doesn't mean you're going to miss out on something or not get something like you would with the other cruise lines. I think that the food that I've had on board here is better than the food on a lot of the major cruise lines. I won't name names specifically, not in this video at least. The food has been really good. The service has been tremendous. So the value you're going to get here on Margaritaville at Sea just cannot be beat. So consider it, look it up, see if they have an itinerary that works for you. Again, great for a quick getaway. And I think in a 2025 and 2026, they're going to start offering longer itineraries on this ship. And Margaritaville at Sea itself is going to be expanding. They're going to be adding more ships to their fleet. They have a plan to add many more through 2030. So look out, because Margaritaville at Sea is very new, but it's not going anywhere. It's only going to get bigger. And I'm glad after this cruise to see that, because I see a very dedicated team. I see a staff that is here committed to seeing this cruise line succeed. So thank you so much for watching this video and all the videos if you did. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed them. If you haven't already, go down below, subscribe to my channel, because we do have a lot more adventures to come. I'm always cruising and traveling around and creating content just for you. Folks, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.